Yo, 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 what's happening, my Lucid people, my family, right? My fellow Lucid investors. Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, of course, today I want to catch you up on what happened with Lucid, right? But remember, sorry, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Don't take it as that, right, guys? I'm just here to bring you the current information that we got available to us, right? And I am excited because, man, today was wild as crazy. It was, a lot of emotions everywhere, I bet, like just a wild market, guys. And, the reason was, part of the reason we saw this big drop in the morning across the market was because there was fear that came out. And I'm going to touch on that, guys. And then I'm going to show you actually a really good article that came out for Lucid. And then we'll touch on the charts a little bit and why we see this kind of like this price action that we're looking at. All right, guys. So yeah, let's jump over to the other screen. Cool. Let me bring this up. So yeah, like I was talking about, there was fear this morning in the market, guys. We're talking about, the Ukraine and Russia situation, and then Biden announced that he's getting ready to place like 8,500 troops. This thing won't let me go up here with that. Okay, here we go. U.S. places approximately 8,500 troops on alert for possible deployment amid Russia tensions, right? So there is some tension in the air, guys, and when there's tension and fear, you tend to see stocks sell off, right? That's just how it works. Cool. So let's jump into something else that I want to talk about. Just a kind of like just some knowledge that you should have that if you're trading, right? If you're a new investor, guys, especially the retail investors, right? So when you buy a stock and you invest, guys, then you get the notification that you get that stock in your portfolio. That doesn't mean that you own the stock right away, right? What that means is that there's actually a T+1, T+2, T+3, right? So with actual stocks, in order to clear the transfer of a security from a seller to a buyer, it must go through a settlement process, which creates the delay between the time of a trade and then when the trade is settled, right? So historically, a stock trade could take as many as 5 business days, T+5, in order to settle a trade. But today, with the technology and all that, guys, like most stocks take two business days, right? However, the settlement day is a little trickier because it represents the time at which ownership is transferred. It is important to understand that it doesn't always occur on the transaction date and varies depending on the type of security, treasury bills, or for example, a few securities that can be transacted in the same day, right? So that's just how the system works, right? Just good to know that. And I talk about in my other videos, like how it's different for, for AMC and for stocks like meme stocks that I think are manipulated. But as like I said before, I really don't think there's too much manipulation with Lucid. I just think that there's a lot of short interest that has occurred on it. So that could help boost the price later on, right? So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Let's go ahead and look at the Lucid chart. And see, I like the way it closed again because it started to recover, right? I mean, you have this massive drop in the morning, guys. And then when you lose and go under the EMAs, you get more selling pressure, right? You get that's how kind of like an indicator. But then it crossed back over and it bounced, right? And it pretty much just did nothing, was even for the day, which to me, that's fine, guys. Like I keep saying that it keeps holding, this level for a reason, right? It reversed here. Didn't quite make it down, but I always leave these hard levels here of support or resistance because they tend to work perfect, right? So you see the push here, the run, got rejected at this Fibonacci, came back down. Okay, so now that we're coming back down and we can tell that it's in a reversal, right? I'm going to get rid of the extension and then I'm going to show you guys this. It's a Fibonacci retracement, right? So you go to here, Fibonacci retracement, you take the top, and you take the bottom, right? It's going to just give you an overall guide of like where the price is going. But yeah, here we go. You had the drop, right? Broke these resistance supports, came back down, but got support right there at the $34, $35 level, right? So now we, as bulls, right, we expect to see this to continue, right? And make its way back up. But this will show you where you like, I would expect to see some resistance right here, right? And because we already got the support, so but there's a lot of fear, guys. Remember right now, there's a lot of stuff that is affecting stocks right now, right? because of the inflation, because of the fear that came out today, right? Things like that. Like it's going to move the stocks. And Lucid has already been volatile, guys, but the way the Nasdaq dropped today was absolutely ridiculous, right? I mean, everything was in a free fall, and this thing tends to hold its own, right? That's what I do love about Lucid. And I think there's a lot of people that believe and are willing to hold because the price is holding. There's a lot of bears that talk blah blah blah, right? But if you're bearish, right, it's gonna get rejected here, and it's gonna come test this again and see if it holds support. But yeah, I mean, I know I was watching the stocks today, guys. It was ridiculous. But when you're in doubt, zoom out, guys. I mean, remember, it broke this, and now it's holding at least, its gains, guys. But remember, it's a different, I expect to see a different chart. I don't expect to really come back down to these levels unless something dramatic happens. But yeah, because, there is Lucid investors. Okay, so we need to, that's just all I wanted to point out. Low volume on the chart, but I want to go move over to the options chain. I got it right here. All right, so this is for the day, right, for this week, the 28th. You do see a lot of call options, right? So there is good volume. Let's see where it would maybe go up to. Let's see, there's a lot of volume, maybe at the 43, 40, nothing crazy this week, right? There's actually more at the 55. But let's take a look at the puts, see if there's anything major. Yeah, so at the 35 level, look, we see there's 9,000 here. Let's see, over here at the 30, there's 6,000. So this week's definitely going to be a battle, right, for this range. But that's why we keep seeing it bounce back between 30 and 40, guys. I mean, that's where the heavier volume is, maybe 35 to 45 as well, right? So yeah, that's what I got for the options chain. A lot of these are in the money. So in order to get that selling pressure all the way to 45, 46. And remember, there is a lot of failure to delivers that happened in December for Lucid. So if those actually get delivered, guys, you will see that push because the buying pressure will come in. And yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the article because it's pretty bullish in my opinion, guys, right? And they put this car to the test, right? So 2022 Lucid Air Dream Edition, 70 mile per hour range test. They wanted to see how long the battery lasted, but check this out. It was the Lucid Air Dream Edition to undergo the test, right? 70 mile highway range test, and boy did it deliver. That's what I noticed right away, right, when I started reading this, and boy did it deliver. We knew we knew going into the range test that the Air would likely crush the 310 mile range test result we achieved on the 2021 Tesla Model 3 in our 70 mile per hour range test, which was our range test leader now. The only question is that remained was by how much? Oh, we've been trying to schedule this for the past few months. Okay, whatever. Lucid provided us with a production Lucid Air Dream range with 19-inch wheels, right? Which configuration, that's with the 520 miles per charge. If you put the 21-inch wheels on the same vehicle, the EPA range will drop to 41 because they're heavier, right? When you add more weight, which is more than any other electric vehicle and by a wide margin as well, right? Bullish. As always, we started out with the day with the DC fast charging, battery, warm performance. So they always try to set the cars or the settings, right? Everything to the same, range. That way they can get a true test by testing all the cars at the same, by the same, settings, right? As always, we set the tires to the manufacturer's recommended pressure, which was 49 PSI. We had the climate control set to 68 degrees. And as we do with all the cars we test, we put the air in the most efficient driving mode, which is smooth, and tested the speedometer, right? So they're not putting it in the sport mode and freaking, driving that thing crazy, hauling, right? They're trying to just drive a normal drive, right? So therefore, we set the Air's adaptive cruise control to 72 miles, which gave us the 70 miles, right? But yeah, they were saying, right, it came pretty close. Let's see, the Air range and consumption rate were fairly consistent in each quarter of the range test. The beginning of the test delivered the worst range as 100% to 75% only netted 120 miles. That's interesting. So it dropped fast as far as like the 100%, and then it was going slower, right, as the battery went down. Some details, guys, right, on if you want to nerd out on this, right, some numbers here. But yeah, they were saying that it did a very well job, right, of doing what it needed to do. Got the fancy display there in the middle, right? If you haven't checked it out, right, I mean, but where I live at the mall, guys, they put a display, right? You can walk in, look at the cars and all that. So I stopped by for a little bit. Let's see. JPS, Lucid. So it's just comparing it to the other ones, right, that it went through and that they would test it with. And let's see, they all use 5-cycle test. Let's see. So when using the 5-cycle test, since they complete 3 more test cycles, all manufacturers don't have to deduct the full 30%. All right, some more specs, right? But yeah, guys, I just wanted to point this out, right? It's still gonna go on a little bit, but Tesla vehicles, for instance, usually underperform their EPA range number by 10% to 13%. That's quite a bit, right? They actually did very well in this regard, falling only 4% short of the EPA range. Surprisingly, the highway, city, and combined range rating for the AirDream Edition range for all the 520 miles. So check out the video, right? I will, post the link down below for you guys, yeah, but I just wanted to cover some things with Lucid today and get you up to date, right? And keep you informed. But yeah, I mean, for what's going on in the market, guys, this is, to me, in my opinion, holding very well. I'm not a financial advisor, but I have the conviction for the long investment, right? So my plan, my strategy is to accumulate shares, and that's what I do, right? I'm just gonna buy over time, average in, and try to, hold for the long run, because I believe that they will do well in the long run. And if you don't know, actually, they announced they're gonna be releasing an SUV and a truck in the years to come, all right? So it's like, you got to think of the bigger picture, guys. It's not just the fact that they have one car right now, right? You got to, believe in the batteries, the technology, look at the bigger picture of what they're doing. And they have the money to do it. That's important, right? They raised a lot of money to get through the next year, right? They're pre-planning, and that's why I love the fact. And then the strong, management, or like the owner, right? He helped, the CEO, he helped create, the first Tesla and whatnot. And so that's my conviction, guys. That's the way I'm looking at it. Thanks for coming by. Catch you guys later.